Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hey everyone, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel. And wow, just wow. I am sitting here at my desk right now. It is way past midnight. My coffee is basically ice water at this point. My eyes are burning from staring at this screen for hours, but I just had to get this out to you guys because the news I just got is insane, just totally insane. I am typing furiously right now to get this report done before the sun comes up. So ignore the typos if you see them. Ignore if this sounds clunky or if I am just rambling. I just need to dump all this raw information on you because it is a lot, a whole lot. And my mind is completely blown by what is coming up on The Bold and the Beautiful. So let us just dive right in because we have a massive tragedy on our hands, a literal life or death situation. And it involves Taylor and Deacon and Sheila, but mostly Sheila and her absolutely terrifying revenge. We all knew Sheila was going to find out about the affair. We all knew she was going to snap. But I do not think any of us realized just how dark and twisted and brutal her revenge was going to be. Because we are not talking about a slap in the face. We are not talking about a screaming match at Il Giardino. We are talking about a horrific, bloody car crash. A sports car plunging into a dark ravine, metal crunching, bodies flying, blood everywhere, and Sheila Carter standing there with a savage smile on her face, but I am getting ahead of myself. Let me back up because we need to talk about exactly how we got to this nightmare scenario. So let us rewind a bit to the Cliff House because that was the catalyst for all of this madness. You guys remember that Steffi and Finn took the kids on a camping trip, a nice little family getaway, and they left Taylor alone at the house. But Steffi gave Taylor a very clear warning. She told her mother to stay away from Deacon Sharp. She ordered her to cut ties because Steffi knows how dangerous Sheila is. Steffi has the literal bullet scars to prove it. But did Taylor listen? No, of course not. Because Taylor and Deacon are just so caught up in their own little bubble of passion. They thought they were invincible. They thought they could sneak around and no one would ever know. So Taylor invites Deacon over and they are rolling around in bed, having the time of their lives. And then boom, Sheila shows up. And Sheila was not just knocking on the door. Sheila kicked the door down with a butcher knife in her hand. She thought she was saving Taylor from an attacker because she heard moaning. But then she realized the moans were not pain. They were pleasure. And Sheila gets all giddy. She starts asking Taylor all these uncomfortable questions about her mystery man. And meanwhile, Deacon is literally jumping out of a second-story window, naked. The man climbed down the side of the Cliff House without a shred of clothing on. Leaving his clothes behind in the room, he hid in the bushes like a terrified animal, and then he ran home to fake sleep on his couch. It was almost comical, but the comedy did not last long because Sheila is not stupid. She might be crazy, but she is not stupid. And this is where the clues start coming together because Sheila goes back to the restaurant and she sees a pizza box from Il Giardino and her brain just clicks. It is like you could see the gears turning in her head. She flashes back to the Cliff House, to the kitchen table, and she remembers seeing that exact same delivery box there. And then she starts interrogating Hope because Deacon claimed he had dinner with Hope that night, and Hope is just a terrible liar. She is sweating and stuttering and looking completely panicked, and Sheila sees right through it. She knows Hope is covering for her father, so she puts it all together. The pizza box, the fake dinner, the naked escape, the mystery man in Taylor's bed. It was Deacon, her husband, the only person she thought she had left in this world. But here is the thing. Sheila did not blow up right away. And that is what makes her so terrifying. When Sheila gets quiet, that is when you need to run because she was humiliated. It was not just betrayal. It was deep, profound humiliation. Deacon and Taylor were making a total fool out of her, sneaking around behind her back, laughing at her in secret. And Sheila Carter does not handle humiliation well. She goes into full psycho mode, but she covers it up. She wakes Deacon up from his fake sleep and she plays dumb. She tells him all about the Cliff House and the mystery man, and she watches him squirm. She watches him give these vague, nervous answers, and she just smiles because she is already plotting his death and Taylor's death. She is planning a revenge so brutal that it will make her past crimes look like child's play. And while Sheila is planning murder, what are Taylor and Deacon doing? They are being complete idiots, honestly. I am so mad at them right now because they think they got away with it. Deacon actually calls Taylor and tells her that their secret is safe. He really believes that Sheila bought his lies, and Taylor believes it too. Even after Steffi comes home from camping and goes absolutely ballistic because Steffi walks into her house and sees the broken door. And Taylor has to confess that Deacon was there and that Sheila kicked the door in with a knife. And Steffi just loses her mind. She rips into Taylor. She tells her that she is endangering Hayes and Kelly. She tells her that Sheila is going to kill them all. Steffi is terrified. She is literally panicking. But Taylor just brushes it off. She tells Steffi to calm down. She insists that Sheila does not know anything. And then, and I cannot even believe this, Taylor and Deacon plan to have more secret dates. They actually plan another date after all of that, after the knife, after the broken door, after Steffi's warnings. They decide they need to see each other again because they just cannot stay away. And that is the fatal mistake. That is the moment they sealed their own doom because Sheila is watching them. Sheila knows everything. And she decides that this next date will be their last forever. So let us get to the night of the crash, the night that changes everything on The Bold and the Beautiful, because this is where the raw data just gets incredibly dark. Taylor and Deacon decide to go on a romantic date, a real date. They want to get out of the house. They want to feel the wind in their hair. So they take a sports car, a fast, beautiful sports car. They are dressing up. They are getting ready for a night of romance and passion. They think they are so clever sneaking out into the night, but Sheila is already 10 steps ahead of them because before they even get into the car, Sheila is there, lurking in the shadows, like the monster she is. And she is not holding a butcher knife this time. She is holding wire cutters. She creeps under that sports car in the dead of night and she finds the brake lines. And with a savage, twisted smile on her face, she cuts them. She completely destroys the brake system. She watches the brake fluid leak out onto the pavement and she just smiles that man-eating grin because she knows exactly what is going to happen. She knows they are going to drive up into the hills. She knows the roads are dark and winding and dangerous, and she knows they are not coming back. She is executing a cold-blooded double murder, and she feels absolutely zero remorse because in her twisted mind, they deserve it. They humiliated her, so they have to die. And then Taylor and Deacon get into the car, completely clueless. They start the engine, it roars to life, and they drive off into the night. And Sheila just watches them go, probably laughing to herself in the dark. So Deacon is driving, and Taylor is sitting next to him, and they are probably holding hands, laughing, talking about their future, talking about how they fooled Sheila. The irony is just sickening. They are driving up into the canyons. The roads are getting steeper. The curves are getting sharper. The night is pitch black. There are no street lights up there, just the headlights of the sports car cutting through the dark, and they are going fast. Because it is a sports car, and Deacon likes to drive fast. And Taylor is just throwing her head back and laughing, feeling so free and alive, not knowing that she is literally seconds away from a violent end, and then it happens. They come up to a massive, sharp curve, a hairpin turn right on the edge of a deep, dark ravine. Deacon takes his foot off the gas. He moves his foot to the brake pedal. He presses down. and nothing happens. The pedal just goes straight to the floor. There is no resistance. There is no slowing down. The car is still flying forward at full speed. And you can just imagine the sheer panic in that car. The sudden, terrifying realization that they are completely out of control. Deacon pumps the brakes again and again, frantically, sweating, swearing, but it is useless. The brakes are gone. Sheila made sure of that. And Taylor realizes what is happening. She looks at Deacon. She looks at the road running out in front of them. She looks at the guardrail approaching at a terrifying speed, and she screams a desperate, blood-curdling scream that just tears through the silent night. It is a scream of pure terror, the kind of scream that haunts your nightmares, because she knows it is over. She knows they are going off the cliff. And then the impact, the heavy, deafening, shot chua sound of metal smashing into metal. The sports car slams through the guardrail like it is made of paper. The glass shatters into a million pieces, and the car launches out into the empty, black air. It just flies over the edge of the ravine, plunging down into the darkness, flipping over and over and over, smashing against the jagged rocks on the way down. The noise is just horrific. The crunching of the frame, the tearing of the steel. It is an absolute nightmare. And the car finally hits the bottom of the ravine with a massive, sickening thud. And the silence that follows is even worse than the crash itself, because it is the silence of death. But the horror does not end there. Because the crash was so violent that Taylor and Deacon were thrown from the wreckage, they did not stay in the car. They were ejected, flung out into the dark rocks, and they are lying there in the dirt, breathing their last ragged breaths, surrounded by twisted metal and broken glass and blood, so much blood. They are lying in literal pools of their own blood, their bodies broken, their romantic night turned into a slaughterhouse. It is a bloody scene that no one would ever dare to look at. It is just pure carnage. And up above, standing on the edge of the road, looking down into the dark abyss, is Sheila Carter. With that same savage, man-eating smile on her face, she listened to the scream, she listened to the crash, and she loved every second of it. Her brutal revenge is complete. She pushed them to the absolute brink of death. She played judge, jury, and executioner, and she won, or so she thinks. Because now we have to ask the biggest question of all. Who is going to die? Are they both dead? Is Taylor going to survive this? Is Deacon? I am just sitting here typing this, and my heart is pounding. Because this changes the entire landscape of the show. If Taylor dies, Steffi will never recover. Steffi will go on a warpath that makes Sheila look like a saint. Steffi warned her mother. Steffi literally begged Taylor to stay away from Deacon. She said Sheila would kill them, and Steffi was right. Steffi was 100% right. And the guilt and the rage that Steffi is going to feel if Taylor dies in that ravine, it is going to be atomic. She will hunt Sheila down and end her with her bare hands. Finn will not be able to stop her. No one will be able to stop her. And what about Hope? Hope covered for her dad. Hope lied to Sheila. Hope knew Sheila was suspicious. She was terrified for her father's life. She told Deke that she thought Sheila knew, but she did not do enough to stop it. If Deacon dies, Hope is going to carry that guilt for the rest of her life. She is going to break down completely. Liam is going to have to pick up the pieces of his shattered wife. And Liam has been living a nice, stable life lately, but this is going to destroy their family peace. Hope is going to blame herself for giving Deacon that fake alibi. Because if she had just told the truth, maybe Deacon would have realized how close Sheila was. Maybe he would not have gotten in that car, but he did. And now he is bleeding out at the bottom of a cliff, and Taylor is bleeding out right next to him. And Sheila is walking away into the night thinking she committed the perfect crime, because who is going to suspect her? It looks like a tragic car accident. Brakes fail sometimes, right? Sports cars crash on winding roads. It is a tragedy, but it happens. That is what the police will think. That is what Chief Baker will think. But Steffi will know. Steffi will know instantly that this was no accident. Steffi will know that Sheila cut those brakes. But proving it is going to be a whole different story, because Sheila is a master at covering her tracks. She wore gloves. She got rid of the wire cutters. She will have an alibi. She will probably go back to Il Giardino and pretend to be a worried wife when the police come to tell her that her husband was in a fatal crash. She will cry fake tears. She will scream and wail and play the victim. And it is going to be sickening to watch. Absolutely sickening. And I am just so tired thinking about the emotional toll this is going to take on all the characters, because we have so many other things happening right now. We have the huge corporate war between the Logans and the Forresters. Brooke and Ridge are sabotaging Katie and Bill. Katie's fashion house is in serious jeopardy. Bill is furious. And RJ is falling hard for Elektra, making out with her in the design office, while Ivy pulls the strings in the background. And Dylan is falling in love with Will, hiding the massive secret about the stolen letter. And Carter and Daphne are hoping for a baby. Everyone has their own drama. Everyone is wrapped up in their own little world. And then this news is going to drop like a nuclear bomb. The news of the crash, the news that Taylor and Deacon were found at the bottom of a ravine, covered in blood. It is going to stop everything. The fashion war will not matter. The office romances will not matter, because death has come to Los Angeles and Sheila Carter is the Grim Reaper. I just keep picturing that scene in my head. The dark ravine, the silence, the dripping of the brake fluid, the pools of blood. It is so cinematic, but so horrific. It really shows that you can never, ever underestimate a scorned woman, especially if that woman is Sheila Carter. She told Lee that Deacon was the only person she had left. She gave him her whole heart. She really tried to be reformed. She really tried to be good. But Deacon threw it all away for some cheap thrills with Taylor. And he dragged Taylor down to hell with him. They thought they were smarter than the devil, but the devil always collects her due. And now we just have to wait. We have to wait and see if the paramedics get there in time. If someone saw the crash, if someone calls 911, or if they will just lay there in the dark until the sun comes up and they bleed to death. I do not know, guys. I really do not know. But I am terrified for them. I am terrified for Steffi. I am terrified for the whole Forrester and Logan family, because Sheila is back. The real Sheila, the killer Sheila. And she has drawn first blood. I am going to wrap this up now because my fingers are literally aching and I need to go process all of this. But please leave your comments down below. Let me know who you think is going to survive this crash. Do you think Taylor is a goner? Do you think Deacon will pull through? And how long will it take for Steffi to realize that Sheila is the one who cut the brakes? We have so much to talk about, so much to analyze. But for now, just brace yourselves, because the next few weeks on The Bold and the Beautiful are going to be a wild, bloody, emotional roller coaster. Thank you guys for reading my crazy late night ramblings. I will be back with more updates as soon as I get them. Stay safe out there. And seriously, check your brakes.